Hey guys, Murtaza at Heartbeat here, just running you through the first 5 channels that we create for you in Heartbeat. So as a starting point, what I always recommend is to have these exact 5 channels. So to have a water cooler, an announcements, a general channel, a no stupid questions channel, and an introductions channel. And you can rename these, different things just depending on, the feel and the culture of your community. But it's really common for most of the communities on Heartbeat to start with this. And to give you a quick overview of what these are, your water cooler is just your voice channel for people to jump in, have quick conversations. Your announcements channel, we actually try to set this as read only. So that way only the community admins are the ones that can post an announcements, not general members. General members can comment on any post that's there, but the community admins are going to be the main ones that actually are able to create posts and post them into the general channel. Or into the announcements channel, sorry. The general channel is usually the catch-all for everything, and so pretty much anything, cool articles, shout-outs, something that you want to get more people's eyeballs on, all of that stuff falls into general, and it's really great for that. No stupid questions, given that your community is generally going to be doing some type of knowledge sharing or some type of coming together. No stupid questions is great for just any and every question that you want your community members to be able to ask, discuss, and talk through. And so, again, it's great to model out what some of this behavior looks like by having you as the community manager write in the first post for that. So small things like that you can do, and then drop in bullets of what a first post should look like, or what a question should look like. And then introductions are already managed through Heartbeat. When you sign on to Heartbeat, it already creates an intro for you. So again, this is pretty much taken care of. And if you want, you might want to have an internal team channel just to have internal conversations, but that's it. I recommend only doing 4 or 5 channels as a starting point for a really particular reason. When you have a community, you actually don't want, 10, 15 channels because you don't want to break up and fracture the conversations across all those different destinations. It's better to have, a channel where a lot of conversations are happening. Maybe every conversation doesn't deserve to be in that channel, and just wait until you get a ton of conversations that are in the same spot and then make that into a new channel. So a really common example that we've seen is, in one of the accelerator communities we worked with, they had a ton of questions that were coming in and out about, getting feedback on something of hey, can somebody take a look at this, or can somebody give me some thoughts on this? And so we created specific feedback channels for that exact purpose, so that people could do that. Another thing was hey, can somebody drop a bunch of likes on my LinkedIn post, or a bunch of likes on my Instagram posts? And so eventually we splintered that and created a shameless plug channel. But as a starting point, really, you just want to have those 4 or 5 channels. You want to let those new channels evolve organically. And once you see 4 or 5 posts that are a good fit for those new channels, that's when you actually want to start creating them, and not before. One of the biggest difficulties when you're creating a community is if you actually have a bunch of channels that are empty and people are not posting in, then it's going to make the entire community feel less engaged and less active, because members keep stumbling upon these dead spaces where there's no conversation happening. So instead of that, keep it to 4 to 5 channels. Try not to go above that for your first iteration of your community. And then that way you can ensure that even though, some of the conversation might get a little crowded and there might be too much happening in, say, the general channel or the no stupid questions channel, it's much easier to fix that later. Whereas if you have a bunch of dead channels, it's harder to take, the dead channels and then try and, connect them with existing channels, or just delete them after the fact. Technically it's easy to do, but it's difficult with how your community perceives what they're actually seeing online. So start with fewer, grow organically, and start spawning off more channels as you start to see really common threads emerge. Another really common one that we see is we were working with a workout community, and they got a ton of questions in the No Stupid Questions all about nutrition. And so they created their own nutrition channel right after the fact. But they waited until they sort of saw that tipping point of just so many nutrition questions where even the community members were asking for a new nutrition channel. Cool. Well, thanks so much for watching, and let us know if you have any other questions that we can help out with.